Hey everybody, it's Mike from Missouri, and it's finally time to get the engine pulled out of this thing. We're almost done with the loader boom, and I got this rotated around into a position where I can lift the motor out the back. We need to start with draining the fluids out of it. Let's get going. Sorry guys, I lost audio here in the next few clips. It does come back here pretty shortly, but I'm taking the upper and lower radiator hoses loose here and getting ready to pull the radiator out. Okay, so I need to take the mounting bolts loose on each side. There's a pair at the bottom, and we should be able to lift that out of there. All right, down here's the hose for the reservoir, for the overflow reservoir. All right. One radiator removed. Okay, the next thing we need to take off is the hydraulic pump. This is the pump that runs the boom. It does not drive the wheels. There's not enough clearance to use a socket here, so it's going to have to be done. I can't even hardly get a wrench in there. That's not good. Hopefully these don't come out hard all the way because it's going to take all day. Lines look good. I think that's a common problem. All right. Now that the pump is out of the way, there's this rear engine mount. Bolt comes up from the bottom. I'm going to use an impact from the bottom to take it out. That's that. All right, I need to get this whole air filter box assembly out of the way. Go ahead and take the intake boot off the engine. Get it loosened up. Then this bracket is held on by a couple screws to that cross member. Up underneath here. this off. Let's look down in the intake. We're going to tape that off to make sure nothing gets down in there. That'd be catastrophic. Work. Then we have the throttle rod. It needs to come off the injection pump here. Let me see how that comes off of there. I'll bring it back. Okay, so it's just a ball joint down there with some 3/8 nut on the end here. Actually, okay, so the upper ball part's 3/8, the bottom looks like it's 7/16. Okay, I'll take the exhaust manifold next. Okay, I got some wiring here to take off the cylinder head. Here's the main ground cable. That's too small. Looks like the rest of it goes back to the alternator back there. Take all that loose. And I've got some stuff down on the starter, I see. Okay, alternator. This is the main charge wire. Oh, it's pretty. Not so great. All right, I think this is the last wire in the alternator is the exciter wire. Not enough room to get the socket on there. 5/16. Okay, there's a wire up here. And that should be the coolant temp sensor. Okay, here's a better look at the coolant temp sensor. It's just behind the fan. And it is right there, and I found that the nut is hand tight, so it probably wasn't working correctly. Can't get it off all the way, but it was definitely loose. There we go. Just some junk on the threads. Okay. There's basically two wires left. One's a fuel sender up here. That was a green wire. And then down on the starter, which is going to be the wire, the key switch wire that activates the solenoid. Looks like there's a little Phillips screw down there. All right, on this side, I disconnected a wire back. I couldn't get the camera in there, this yellow one, to an oil pressure sender. These two were disconnected. They go to this oil alarm, I believe. And then this light green wire was attached up to this oil filter housing. I think that's everything. Everything is loose but this. I think that's the hydraulic oil temperature switch. Temperature switch. I doubt it's any good because it's broken now anyway. I don't know if I just did that. Okay, now you need to focus on getting all the fuel disconnected. This is a ball or gate valve at the bottom of the tank, fuel tank reservoir. Okay, so that line goes to the mechanical fuel pump that's bolted to the engine, and there's a primer lever on the pump itself right there. And we're going to take the line loose here, and then there's the injector return line. So all the injectors are on the other side of the cylinder head. This is a little return line, and it ties into this rubber hose. So taking those two off, we should be clear on all the fuel system stuff. I have a bunch of caps and plugs here. Hopefully I can get this thing plugged off pretty quickly. Not much came out. Kind of surprised. Okay, there's a cap on that. There's a plug in the line. I'm going to push that down low. And can't really get a camera back on this one. Okay, we're getting close here. Got to take the front engine mounts loose. Figures it's a bolt from the bottom. What I believe to be the last thing that needs to come loose is the pump from the bell housing. Now there's a steel bracket under the pump that's bolted down below and on the front of the pump that supports the pump, and then two main bolts that hold the pump, back of the pump, into the drive mechanism in there. It's a rubber drive. I've got this long 1/2-inch extension made up of multiple. I'm going to go underneath, try to get on these bolts back here so I don't have to do it by hand. There's one. There's two. Okay, the last two bolts holding the pump on I have one on each side, and these are known for coming loose or breaking off. And I put 2 new ones in when I got the machine, and they are tight because I cranked them down. And I'm going to run both of those out on each side, and then I'll bring you guys back. Got the one on this side out. That bolt's loose, and as I take it loose, I can see the pump moving down, and they're not light. So I'm going to put this little stubby bottle jack in here to try to keep this from falling all at once. Okay, the moment of truth. I got some blocks shoved up under the back of the pump. Bottle jack holding the front. This should just fly away. Maybe I got too much pressure on this. Okay. Looks like there's another bolt on that bottom bracket or something. I don't think there is, though. My understanding is that's just spline, and it should pull right on out of there. Feels like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. It's too loose to be. It's too loose to be still having a bolt. To still have a bolt in there. I'm going to try to relieve some pressure off the front of that pump. I looked in the repair manual, double checked. It just shows the 2 lower bolts and the 2 flange bolts on each side of the pump. So it should come out like this unless there's some damage to the splines on that drive unit or something. So hopefully I can get it by taking some pressure off here. I don't know what's going on here. Well, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do this, but I guess I'll take the bolts all the way around the bell housing off. See if I can get any headway doing that. Well, something's definitely going on. I got it pried apart. Still won't come. However, you can kind of see. There we go. The shaft. Doesn't look so hot, but I can see that I'm pulling those rubbers. That's what I'm flexing. See that? That's what I'm just prying. I'm going to try to drop some lubricant down in there on that shaft. Well, it doesn't seem to do anything. I think I'm pulling the bolts through the rubber. And actually get almost down to the spline. Because I'm going to just try to keep working it and see if I can pull the rubbers through. I don't really have any other option. Yep, that's what's happening. Yep, I just forced them through. Definitely not how I wanted to do it. Not sure that I heard him though. Well, I got some straps hooked to this thing. We're going to give this a go. I don't feel real confident that I'm going to be able to get this engine moved where I need it to go, but we're going to try. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, can't get it up anymore. All right, so the plan is to keep raising it, and then I'll roll the machine, hopefully enough out of the way to get that out of there. Surely that doesn't hold the rear main seal in, does it? It's gonna come off because that's the only way I can get it out of there. Well, the battery died, but I got all the bolts out of there. It should just pry off right now. Yep. Sorry I'm blocking the camera, but I gotta get this done. There we go. Now I got some room. Let's see. Okay. A ring around that. Hopefully it'll come out now. Roll this back. There we go. All right. Man. Oh, wrong one. A little too excited there. Wow, that was a struggle. Well, guys, we got it out. I'm dirty, nasty, sweaty, been breathing in propane fumes. I have to say that's probably the hardest way to take out a Cummins out of an case 1840. Had to do it all over again. I'd pull the pump and everything first. I probably should have switched gears, but I wasn't prepared to drain the 25 gallons of fluid out of this, so I persisted. But I got it out and didn't tear anything up. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to sign out and go clean up. We'll see you next time.